Hey guys, so I promised that I wasn't going to look like I was hunting this next episode, and I don't think I do, but correct me if I'm wrong. I was going to wear my glasses because I'm blind, but then I decided there's a big glare, and I don't feel like dealing with that. Also, don't comment on how many turtlenecks I have, because I have more and will wear more. Anyways, let's get started. Welcome to the second episode of Sips and Giggles, where we sit down, have a chat, have a drink. I talk about whatever I want to talk about or whatever you guys want me to talk about. The drink of today is going to be a Clearly Canadian, not sponsored, but maybe one day, citrus medley. So, ever since I tried to stop drinking soda, Clearly Canadian has been amazing. Especially their citrus. I love it. It's so good. And you know what's crazy is I used to hate, and I mean hate, I used to hate sparkling water so bad. It was disgusting to me. I didn't like it. I didn't get how anybody could ever drink it. But now, until recently, I really like it. So that's the topic of our episode today. The correlation between change in taste and frontal lobe development. No, I'm joking. That's way too educated for this podcast. We're just going to be talking about things we hated as a kid that we love now. And I didn't start thinking about this until the other day when I made myself a Caprese salad. And what's funny about that is I also used to hate Caprese salads. I remember the first time I had one, my mom packed it for lunches for us. And it was awesome because my mom didn't often pack lunches for us. And I feel bad because I hated it. I didn't like it at all. I don't know if it was the tomatoes, the mozzarella, the basil, or whatever. But I did not like Caprese salad. And then I'm over here eating the Caprese salad I made. And let me tell you something right now. Italians are on to something. The tomatoes, the mozzarella, the basil, the balsamic glaze, they toss it together, bam. They are on to something because it's amazing. They put some crack in there because I'm addicted to Caprese salad now. But as a kid, I hated it. And they say that your taste buds change every 2 weeks. So who knows? Maybe if I ate a Caprese salad 2 weeks later, I would have loved it. Or maybe it just took 10 years to change my mind. 9 years, whatever. That's interesting how there are some things as a kid that we absolutely despise and now we love. Another example for me would be my little sisters used to follow me around nonstop, right? They used to want to do everything that I did. They used to want to hang out with me all the time, and I hated it. I'm the oldest, by the way. And I didn't get why. I was like, leave me alone. Leave me alone, man, you little grimy little kid. Leave me alone, my goodness. And now it's the opposite. I mean, my siblings do stuff, and I'm like, hey, do you want to go get coffee? Do you want to hang out? I'll take you somewhere. I'll pay for it. I got a job, you don't. Do you want to go do something? I'll harass my little sister. I'll knock on her room, come in and tell a dad joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? That's a joke. Not a funny one. I've never done that. I just do really bad ones. But as a kid, I didn't like spending time with them. You should, though. You should definitely spend time with your family. You never know when you're not going to have more time with them. Nobody knows how long we have on this earth. Although, with all the news coming out about aliens and second moons and this and that, who knows? Definitely tell your family you love them, because you don't know. I asked some of you guys, what are some things that you didn't like as a kid that you like now? And almost, I think 4, there was a lot of you guys said nap time. And amen to that. Amen, brother, sister, because me too. I hated nap time. I was the biggest protester against nap time. I was the reason in my family that we went from nap time to rest time, quote unquote. because I hated it. I could not sit still for a moment. I was a yapper then, and I'm a yapper now. And I think that's why my parents wanted me to have nap time, is because I couldn't stop talking to them. And they were like, girl, if you don't shut up, we're gonna go stick you in a corner. I remember I was like, Dad, I can't lay there. I can't lay there and go to sleep. I cannot sleep. Can we do something else? And he was like, you can read a book. I was like, yes, score. I love reading. And I love reading now, but I can't focus on a paragraph without reading it 6 times over. And then I get fed up, and so I give up. Which is terrible. I should keep trying. Yeah, I hated nap time. I hated it. So I would do rest time, and then rest time got too boring for me. So then I would sit there, talk to my siblings, and then my parents would get mad that I was talking to them. So I would talk to my stuffed animals, and then eventually I grew out of it. But now I love nap time. If you tell me that I could get a nap, I'm gonna be so on board. If you tell me, hey, you want to go sit on the couch, just go to sleep? If there are 100 fans of nap time, I am one of them. If there are 10 fans of nap time, I am one of them. If there are 2 fans, I'm one of them. If there's 1, I'm one of them. If there are no nap time fans, I'm dead. I'm gone. Deceased. Yeah, man. I love sleeping. Which is interesting because I don't get enough of it. My body naturally wakes me up around 8 o'clock these days, and I don't find myself going to sleep until 12. Okay, so I'm getting about 8 hours of sleep. I take that back. Snatched and revoked, because I'm getting enough hours sleep. Sometimes I feel like I'm not, though. I get really exhausted. I get tired easily, which is also something that didn't happen as a kid. As a kid, I had more energy than I knew what to do with it. And I find that's true for a lot of kids and a lot of adults. We adults, we're tired. We're exhausted, man. And I think it's because of work. I don't know if it's just me, but I think it's work. I think labor these days is just meant to be exhausting. You know what I think? I propose an idea. No more nap time for kindergartners. I know nap time for the kids is mainly for the adults to get some peace and quiet, but go kick them outside. Let them have recess. More recess. They need to get that energy out. Give nap time to us, the adults. Schedule time. This will boost productivity. Because your workers will be refreshed. Your workers will have a clear mind, a clear focus, clarity, if you will. Give them a nap time. Schedule it for the day. Yep. And on their break, it could be part of their break if you want. You could give them a paid nap time. I know you guys don't want to do that, but I think they'd like working for you a lot more if you gave them nap time, and I think they'd work better. So let's take the kindergartners' nap times, like taking candy from a baby, and give it to office workers or retail workers, whoever. You know, the chefs that are tired and angry all the time. Just have them sit by the stove, take a quick nap. Super duper easy. There's some other things I hated as a kid that I loved. I loved Brussels sprouts. I didn't like jeans. I know that's gonna sound weird, but I hated jeans as a kid. It was a weird feeling. I would throw temper tantrums about it. I could be neurodivergent, I think that's what they say. Neurodivergent. But I hated the texture of jeans. I hated them so much. They felt weird. I would cry. I would throw a tantrum. I would do anything I could to get jeggings instead of jeans because I liked leggings better. And this past year, I've spent a lot of money on jeans. Just because jeans are plain expensive. Because they're denim. But yeah. Jeans. I hated jeans. And I know what it was about the denim texture that little me hated so much I had to pick a fight every time that I would like kick my feet and scream that I love now. Jeans go with everything. Everyone knows this. Jeans and black. I hated kids growing up. Kids younger than me. And it wasn't a hate. It wasn't a passionate hate. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, Kids are the worst. It was more of like, I don't want kids. I would hate to have kids. Never ever. Finger wag. I don't like kids. But now, like if I'm cashiering and I see a baby, babies stare at me. I love babies. They're so cute. Maybe the pooping isn't. Maybe the screaming isn't. But babies are adorable. I love babies. I would so love to be a mother and just have babies. That sounded weird. Point blank period. Oh, I know another thing I hated as a kid that I love now. Cottage cheese. I'm turning into an old woman because I love cottage cheese. I'll put some pineapple in it, some blueberries in it. I will eat that up. I will eat a whole tin of cottage cheese. And it was another thing that had to do with texture. Went from jeans to cottage cheese. I didn't like the texture of it. Threw me off. I thought, why is it liquidy and chewy? Ooh, it's gross. It's weird. I wonder if I'll ever like boba because I don't like chewing and drinking. I like the popping bubbles. I don't like the tapioca pearls. I don't think I'll ever grow out boba because I didn't try it until this past year and I don't like it. I don't like chewing while I'm trying to drink. It's multitasking and I don't want to multitask while I drink. Eating is enough of a hassle as it is. But yeah, I didn't like cottage cheese. The texture was disgusting. Horrid. And now I will eat a whole tub of it. Speaking of becoming an old woman, I like talking to older people. Now, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll be at work and they don't know how to work a pin pad, which is fair because I also don't know how to work new technology and I need my dad to help me out with that. I need the older people to help me out with the technology and plug things in. I mean, my pastor yesterday needed help getting his video on the screen onto the big TV. I've never worked with a MacBook in my life, so I'm trying to figure out, the red circle means X, the green circle means make bigger, and yellow circle means make smaller. I get that. Where's your settings? And I'm trying to figure it out, and then I had my friend come over, and he very quickly, you just have to go to the sound and click that and that. Isn't that so cool? How people just have different knowledge than you and they just figure it out like that. It's awesome. But I feel very relatable. I relate a lot to the older people. Yeah, I didn't always like having conversations with older people when I was younger. I didn't like having conversations with anybody. I felt very out of place as a younger kid, but that's neither here nor there nor the topic of this episode. But I like having conversations with them now. It opens your eyes, especially when us younger people start realizing some of the things that are going on in today's world, and we sit down and talk with the older people, and they say, this is what we've been trying to tell you. This is something that we've seen going on, and we've warned you about, and now we're finally seeing it. I think that's also why they say that younger people are more liberal and older people are more Republican, but that's getting into politics, which is not something I want. I just think it's an insight of how, as we get older, more knowledge is obtained about what's going on. The sparkling water is so good. The other thing is, I'm really struggling to open it. Like, I feel so weak when I have to open these things. I have to get a whole paper towel and dry my hands and use all the force I have to open it. Très magnifique. C'est très cher. It's not expensive at all. I don't know why I said that. Let's see. Let me make sure I covered all my bases. Napping. Look at my forehead wrinkles. Guys, you can't do this on Botox. You can't make these faces. I'm sorry, podcast people. You can't see me making these faces. You can't see me scrunching my eyebrows and getting forehead wrinkles at 19. Guys, should I do Botox? No, I'm joking. That's a joke. I would never. I don't think. I'm pretty as it is. That sounded sarcastic. I do like that some things have never changed. Like the fact that I yapped a lot as a kid and I still yap now. In fact, I think it bothered my parents how much I talked. It bothered my teachers for sure. Because they would tell me, Liana. One of my teachers wrote down on a sheet of paper 3 things to think about before I speak, and laminated it and taped it to my desk. Listen, I didn't think I spoke that much that you had to make a public announcement and go out of your way to do that. But here's where Delulu is the Salulu, because you went out of your way to make something for me, just me, and tape it to my desk. You spent your time writing it out, laminating it, taping it to my desk for me, because I talked a lot. Thanks, Queen. You're the best. Love you, Pookie. I think that's another thing. I didn't like school growing up. But now, I like school. I love learning. I think it's because school was tiresome and waking up at 7 a.m. was not my kind of thing, because I like sleep now. Oh, country music. Okay, I know you guys are not going to get on board with me on this, but I didn't like country music growing up. I also didn't like rap music growing up. And I like both now. I like a lot. I like some country music. I mean, I live in Florida, so I think I have to like some country music. Listen, if you put on Miranda Lambert, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, I'm gonna like it. I don't care what you say. Hey Good Lookin' is such a good song. I think this is gonna be a shorter episode today, only because I blanked on a lot of things that I was going to talk about. I didn't like coffee growing up. I don't like the way coffee makes me feel now. It makes me gendery. But growing up, I remember the first time my dad had me try some of his coffee. I thought it was disgusting. And now I drink it black, which is exactly what he used to give it to me. I definitely didn't need the caffeine because I was crazy enough as it was. And then one day I tried a white chocolate mocha latte at Starbucks. It was a gift to me. And I think that got me hooked. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Or it was a Frappuccino. I think every kid's pipeline to coffee is a Frappuccino, because it's more like a milkshake than anything. Us 8th graders thought we were so chic with our caramel frappe venti. Hey guys, I came to school, my mom got me Starbucks. Girl, get your little butt in your seat, because you are not drinking coffee, you're drinking ice and milk and sugar. You're just drinking sugar. Which is fine if you like frappes. I still like some frappes. But don't call it coffee, because you're not drinking coffee. There's a teeny tiny amount of coffee in there and a whole bunch of milk and sugar. You can call it... Why do I keep going to push up my glasses, but there's no glasses there, because I don't have my glasses on. That's the second time I've done that this episode, to go push my glasses up and they're not there. You're not drinking coffee. You think you are. But every kid's pipeline starts with the Frappuccino. Then you go to a latte or a mocha or something like that. And then one day you decide to be prestigious in your turtlenecks and book reading and try a black coffee. Or you put less creamer than usual. And little by little, maybe eventually, you get to that black coffee point. Also, I don't know about you, but I will always take iced coffee. I don't care if it waters it down. I need my coffee iced. I will take a cold brew. And maybe it's because I live in, the devil's nutsack of Florida, where it's muggy and hot all the time, but I can't do a hot coffee. Maybe if it was cold, I could. And that is something I won't change my mind about. Here's one that somebody posted. Hanging out by yourself. Solitude. That was definitely something that, even though I didn't like talking to other people and I didn't really like hanging out with other people, I was always searching for the validation of friends as a kid. And I didn't understand why people didn't like me. And I hated being alone. I didn't like being alone as a kid. And I don't think deep down anyone likes being alone, but I like my solitude now. I like my peace. I would much rather have my solitude and my peace than fight for friendships where I feel like everyone hates me. 100%. And the older you get, the more you will prioritize your peace and the time you have alone than pleasing everybody else and fighting for their friendship. And even if you do have a lot of friends and you like to have all those friends and you like to be with everybody, guarantee it, if you're my age or even older or even younger, I guarantee it, at some point you want to sit in your bed and turn on a TV show and be left alone. I feel like if anyone has too much social interaction, they're going to get snippy, unless you're an extrovert. But who out here is an extrovert? Not me. Comment if you are and teach me your ways. But I'm exhausted after 5 minutes of talking to people. I like to be alone. I like that point that person brought up. It was being alone, going to bed, nap time, and time with family. That's what it was. Someone said rats, being king of rats, and I think you know who you are, and I kind of agree. Because as a young kid, I was like, ew, rats. I thought I saw a rat one time when I was at church. It was VBS. No, it was Awana. I don't know if any of you guys remember Awana. I don't remember if it stood for anything. Okay, Awana stands for Approved Workmen Are Not Ashamed. And it comes from 2 Timothy 2:15. Look at me learning things that I should have known. I used to go to Awana when I was little, and it was a Wednesday thing, and you would memorize Bible verses and all of that. But I was in the bathroom, and I saw a little brown thing, like, skitter across real fast. And I didn't see it again, and I freaked out. I was like, holy cow, it's a mouse. Or a rat. I think it was a rat. And a long tail. I tell you right now, I love rats. They're so cute. Did you know when you pet a rat and they purr, their eyes kind of like boggle out of their head? And it's a little creepy, it's a little worrisome, but in an endearing way, because that's how they show joy. And they're very smart, clean creatures. They are not the New York rats that you see, that I've never seen, but I've heard about. I've heard the horror stories about the New York rats who could take your little chihuahua, your little teacup chihuahua, and eat it whole. And you'll find them in the sewers and all of that delicious stuff. But the rats that are nice and clean, that you can adopt, that you out of the pet store and hopefully not out of your backyard, those are the nice rats. Don't get a rat from your backyard. It could be a baby possum. Don't get rabies, please. And I know that was supposed to be a goofy thing about rats, because you know who you are. But I genuinely like rats now. So I think we're getting a little out of hand. There are definitely many things that I think a lot of us grew out of, or more grew into. You grow into your clothes. You grow out of the old ones and you grow into the new ones. You grow out of applesauce and you grow into cottage cheese, or Caprese salads if you're me, because yummy Caprese salads. Italians sponsor me so I can have more Caprese salad. Who made Caprese salad? Who invented Caprese? If you're wondering why I'm so close to my computer, because I can't see. Who made the Caprese salad? Oh, the Hotel Filippo. Bleh. Okay, so it is Italian. Shout out to the Italians for making my favorite salad ever. And for making olive oil, because olive oil is amazing and I love it. Thank you for watching this episode of Sips and Giggles, and I hope to see you guys on the next episode. Bye. Love you guys.